Okay, I've told you why you want this viral makeup. Now I'm going to show you exactly how to apply it. This is so simple, you cannot mess it up. Before you put on your makeup, you're going to wash and moisturize your face, and then you need to let that moisturizer set for like 10 minutes, just to let it absorb in your face for a better application. If you like to use a primer, then I'd use a water-based rather than a silicone base. It just works better with this makeup. What I actually do is I take the SEINT setting spray and I'll apply it by putting it right on my perfector sponge and dabbing it all over. So I use the setting spray before as a primer, and then I'll use it at the end as a setting spray also. When I match your colors, I'm going to give you 3 foundation colors. These are going to make up your 3D foundation. First, you're going to have your contour. That's that dark color that can be a little bit scary looking. And that is going to create shadows on your face and make it look like you've lost 5 pounds in 5 minutes. The next one is your brightening highlight. That's going to be a light color that you use to brighten certain areas of your face, kind of like a concealer. And then you're going to have your main color, which is the closest to your skin tone and will round out your whole foundation. The idea behind this 3D foundation is that we're just putting it on in one layer instead of putting your main color down and then putting your contour on top of that and your concealer on top of that. This is keeping it in one thin layer, which is much better for a nice smooth application, especially as your skin gets older. As I apply the makeup today, I'm going to use my fingers. That's the easiest way to get the least amount of makeup on, and putting on too much makeup is one of the hardest things to learn when you're switching over to this makeup. If you do want to use a brush, the smudge brush is the perfect tool for that. All right, so this is basically a paint by numbers. So let's get started. Contour is going to supply shadows and structure for our face. We're going to apply it to our foreheads, to our cheekbones. You can see the shadow is already there. We're just making it a little bit stronger. Along the nose to thin it out a little bit. Just a touch under your lip to add a little fullness. Then along the jaw to add a little more chiseled look. All right, now we're going to go into the brightening highlighter. So this is the lightest color. We're going to add like a pop of brightness to our forehead. We're going to do a little bit of an eye lift on our outer eyes and a pop of brightness on our inner corner of our eyes. A little bit along the nose is going to help with that nose contouring. On our upper lip, for a little bit to help with the lip contouring, and the chin for a little bit extra color brightness right there. And then you basically just put the main color, the color that's closest to your skin type, everywhere else. Now we're going to grab the 3D brush, which is a perfect brush for blending out this makeup. I highly recommend the SEINT brushes for this because they're just made to work with the cream makeup. They're double-ended, they last beautifully, they work beautifully, and they just are very functional in the shapes that they're made in and the way that they are designed. So I'm just using like a stippling circular motion to blend out, starting from the lighter colors and then working towards the contour after that. When I get down to the jawline and the contour, I'm going to blend down. Everything else you're kind of blending upward. Just keep blending until you've got the beautiful natural finish that you love. When you're doing your nose, make sure you're careful to not smudge it all together. Now I'm going to add a bronzer to a few places where the sun would normally hit your face. This adds just a beautiful warmth. Then blend it out. If your face and your neck don't exactly match color, then a bronzer is a beautiful sheer way to make it match a little bit better without being like an overwhelming dark color. Now let's add a little bit of blush. I like to go in with a matte color first, and then I'll add either a shimmer or a gloss on top to give it just a fresh little glow. Then you blend that out. You can make it as dark or as light as you want, depending on how much you put on and how much blending you do. I'm going to add those same 2 colors right to my lips. Now I'm going to grab some eyeshadows, and they're right on the bottom layer of my palette. I'm doing a pretty simple look today, so I'm just putting like a medium matte color on the base of my eyelid, making sure I go up and over the crease so that when my eyes open, you can still see it. And then I'm going to go in with the prettiest shimmery color. I'm going to use my little pinky finger, and I'm going to put it on the inner corner of both of my eyes. This adds just a pop of brightness, which is just a nice touch. Okay, we are almost done now. The next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the etch brush. It's got these great firm ends that you can do any kind of lining with. And I am going to go into my contour, and I'm going to line my eyebrows. I like to make little vertical lines right in towards the center of my eyebrow and then smooth it out like up and over the arch, kind of in the same direction that the hairs are pointing anyway. And then I'm going to grab a little spoolie brush and just brush them out. If you don't currently fill in your eyebrows, you might want to give it a try because it really does frame out the face nicely. Then add your favorite eyelash primer and tubing mascara. I'm going to do 2 things to finish off the look. I'm going to use my Perfector sponge to both blend in my makeup just a little bit extra and also to apply my setting spray. Last but not least, I'm going to take the setting powder called Vanilla Dust, and I'm going to apply it to kind of my T-zone. Basically the spots that get a little bit shinier than what I like. I also like to put it where my glasses rest on my cheekbones there to give it a little bit more staying power. It provides a really nice finish.